Nsem-Pii TV nie.
You are busy for your mama baba in Nsem-Pii TV so aha and Nsem-Pii. The NPP Vetting Committee and Amoah submit your report after vetting. Your mama 3rd to 6th July some of the Jumadin. Na sa report no be 8 p.m. I to say Amoah vetting crofo out and 10 aspirants and a quarter of forms. Ye take it sa report of possible vetting out from statement Mr. Obi Amoah Emeki say ye vetting out in poor as how crime way so and our befa from 2 reports. First, the graphic news at the end of breaking our story way say vetting committee Amoah submitted on report. Now more person be tight-lipped because say enyo mo medjuma somebody disclose all the details of the vetting report. But about my trust in Nsem-Pii TV say baby information will be a ye bakwa kwa pe abremo nti e be 2 reporter APM say then possibility of vetting someone out no ye be diagnose no CCR. Now the 9-member vetting committee of the governing New Patriotic Party tasked to vet the party's presidential aspirants has submitted its report to the party after their work. Committee members Yakawasem, chaired by Professor Aaron Mike Okwe, very learned former Speaker of Parliament, honorary chairperson of the vetting committee. There's also a document here, a casa about the requirements of moderation for presidential aspirants. Into one casa or shares our requirements now shown conform on mobile base na wow betimi wow prejudgment where there's no harm in prejudicing. Wow Odrin said benya issues when it comes to being vetted out of the New Patriotic Party contestee. Na Monday our party headquarters July 10th and or submitted sa reporting that is any year and assign information we ever. The NPP on July 1st 2023 inaugurated a 9-member vetting committee way for parties presidential slated November 4th 2023. Members of the committee, 1 Mr. Kwesi Amoah Ata, 2 Stephen Abankwa Secretary, Osei Bonsu Amoah onani Obi Amoah no kasa about one vetting out no Lord Oblite Komi, Frank Davis, Rita Talata Asobayere, Anna Hackman Owusu Jamai, and Adelaide Ahrewen Omonomiye members of the 9-member committee in charge of vetting. Now, party where appointed Mr. Amoah, member of parliament for Kwapem North constituency, and a member of the vetting committee spokesperson for the committee. Sorry, Mr. Obi Amoah, member of parliament for Kwapem North, honorary spokesperson for the committee, and into no kasa about one vetting possibility, a quorum befaso, and Mr. Evans Nimako, honorary director of research of elections of the party, honorary secretary of the committee. Committee no tax some oversee the 10 presidential aspirants from Monday, July 3rd to Thursday, July 6th, 2023. Team way almost select on National Steering Committee during a meeting held on Monday, May 30th, 2023. Spokesperson Mr. Obi Amoah eka say committee no ma wiyo majuma na party no the public relations of the party and be announce the content of the report or decline is or be commenting on content of the report claiming that and not any part of the work of the committee. But then you are promising no you be mount inside information regarding the possibility of vetting and Nsem-Pii found flag bearer aspirants are obuko true vetting. Yes, I'm another reporter because some of the members of aspirants omuko vetting committee umpieno omeni anje key among them honorable Kennedy Japan. Yes, you peer free vetting room no one any media person bi ankasa no ko obowra de came and no ye one issue ya reports on. You be move on. Flag bearers are go through here. 1. Vice President Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia, John Allan Kojo Tremantin, Kojo Poku, former Minister of Regional Cooperation and New Partnership for Africa's Development, NEPAD, Dr. Kofi Kunedu Apraku, former Minister of Food and Agriculture, Dr. Owusu Efriye Akoto, former Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Mr. Joe Gatti. Rest near MP for Mampong constituency and Ashanti region, former MP Francis Adainimo, and a former Energy Minister Boache Tremantin Ejakun, Member of Parliament for Asen Central, Honorable Kennedy Ohene Ejapon, and a former NPP General Secretary Kwabena Ejapon. Now, Yanko into some reports like I said, some of the members were not happy. I don't know, my job online and I report you on. Or say, no aspirant was given special treatment. Where some of the information appear say some of the members, aspirants, or call into the vetting committee, or notice say some of the aspirants have more special treatment, and they be more special treatment. But vetting committee for no other report about say no aspirant was given special treatment. Presidential Vetting Committee of the New Patriotic Party says it gave a fair hearing to all flag bearer aspirants who appeared before it during the vetting process, rejecting claims of special treatment for some aspirants. Some media reports earlier claimed that some aspirants were unhappy with the vetting process at the party's campaign office in Kokomleme, Accra on Friday. Mr. Osebonsu, spokesperson of the vetting committee, debunked that assertion, saying that the committee stuck to its mandate and ensuring that only qualified applicants progress to the next stage of the process. Some of the utterances of aspirants in the past that vetting committee, questions based on that now. And some of the aspirants are happy at that. Mr. Amoah should come clear, because you treat everybody the same, because Obi a different interview process, no be a different. Obi on the vast experiences with the New Patriotic Party. Obi on the allegations with the New Patriotic Party. It would mean treating the all the aspirants the same way. And it's that some of them were raising questions. I said, when treat Obi the same way, so he should come clear on that. Now the statement of Kanye say that is not the mandate of the committee to favor some aspirants of the vetting committee. The party has listed duties and responsibilities of a president, what every aspirant is expected to do, and what officers of the party are expected to do. There were certain expectations there were for members of the New Patriotic Party. Is he saying say all the aspirants of meeting all the expectations of the New Patriotic Party? That is a legitimate question. And but as he said, and nobody will disclose information in that report. As for complaints and comments, they are reserved for the National Party. And he moved to our report. As far as we are concerned, everybody who appeared here will attest to the fact that we were candid to each person, we were fair, and we had all the opportunity in the world to respond to questions, and we asked the relevant questions for each of the aspirants, irrespective of the fact that you are a former minister, you are a sitting vice president, or a former MP, or whatever the status. We treated them equally and fairly before us. That is the most important thing. Vetting committee on Friday ended this mandate after successfully vetting all 10 aspirants who are hoping to lead the party in the 2024 election. Mr. Francis Adainimo, former member of parliament for Mampong, was the last to appear before the committee. The 9 others said they are kind of they are booming that. Now called to guidelines for presidential aspirants of the New Patriotic Party. Vetting committee shall disallow the candidature of any aspirant when it finds that such aspirant does not qualify to be a presidential candidate. it shall submit such findings in writing to the National Executive Committee with a copy to the aspirant. Enti almost submit to report so almost Betty will be out best submit one to the National Executive Committee, two no mas copy sa known aspirant. Enti either by today or tomorrow aspirant be a vetting out be a ebenya the report. It shall be the obligation of the member seeking nomination as the party's presidential candidate to satisfy the Presidential Vetting Committee that the conditions stipulated in Article 13.7 has been fulfilled, and any application which does not comply with these conditions shall be rejected. In the Article 13.7, in Nsem-Pii sa presidential aspirant, they say they omit an aspirant who is dissatisfied with such findings may appeal against it to the National Executive Committee within 48 hours of receipt of notice of the findings by filing an appeal in writing with the General Secretary. Where there are more than 5 contestants for nominations as the party's presidential candidate, a special electoral college shall cast their vote by secret ballot for the first 5 contestants to be shortlisted. And a special delegates conference there by almost say over 900 delegates, and they be decided on the last 5. But and the report we the possibility of trimming down that third aspirants of course on presidential aspirants of the New Patriotic Party. One, vetting committee in a pass will be out. A best send a message to be a presidential aspirant now, and it takes any form of levels. Obiad always can be room. So more betty will be out, and some reasons in tea are motivating out to set an example to others in the future. Some person here contested for the NPP presidential flag bearer. Now, where there is only one contestant for nomination as the party's presidential candidate, the National Congress shall acclaim his or her nomination as the party's presidential candidate. Where the contestant obtains more than 50% of the votes cast, he or she shall be the party's presidential candidate. Where, however, no candidate obtains more than 50% of the votes cast, there shall be a runoff between the first 2 candidates, and the contestant with a simple majority shall be the party's presidential candidate. In the event of a tie between the 2 contestants, the runoff will continue until one contestant obtains a simple majority. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, the party wishes to stress that any other aspiring candidate who flouts any of the above guidelines or modalities conduct himself in a manner that brings the party's name into disrepute and then someone shall be deemed to have breached Article 4.7 of the NPP Constitution and will accordingly be sanctioned, including being disqualified from contesting in the primaries. And there's a possibility of some people being vetted out. The New Patriotic Party, vetting committee, Mr. Amoah Akasa, now you ended this report on the possibility of some aspirants being vetted out of the vetting, but more 48 hours to file complaint with the General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party. Medini Kwabna for Madam Medesa report to Ebrem with Nsem-Pii TV. So Yadamasi be
concluded an assignment when we managed to vet the 10th person who has applied to be a presidential aspirant and a candidate for the party. We've complied with the mandate of the National Party to ensure that anybody who has applied to be counted as a presidential aspirant has gone through the process. As the chairman said, by Monday we should submit a report, and if any person has been disqualified, he has the right to appeal to the National Appeals Committee before the process continues. Was decorous, respected the committee, and answered our questions. We've had no occasion to say that anybody has misconducted himself. Even when the person thought probably the question was unexpected. We've answered the questions to our satisfaction. We've completed the process. The next step is to submit our report to the party. That's the most important thing. We were given a week within which to conduct this process